How long will you continue reacting to life instead of controlling it? How many times have you let external forces dictate your thoughts, your emotions, your actions? It's time to take control, not just of your circumstances, but of your mind. In today's world, we often feel overwhelmed by the chaos around us, constantly being pulled in different directions. But what if I told you that there's a way to master your thoughts, remain calm under pressure, and reshape your life on your terms? The answer lies in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught us how to build resilience, how to stay grounded in the face of challenges, and how to take responsibility for our responses. By questioning your default reactions and focusing on what you can control, you can stop living passively and start living with purpose. You can redefine success, not based on what society tells you, but based on what aligns with your values and what's truly important to you. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 powerful Stoic principles that can transform your life. From creating a mental fortress to embracing discomfort as a tool for growth, these principles will give you the clarity and strength to lead a life of integrity and resilience. If you're ready to take control and redefine your life, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. Let's get started on your journey to mastering your mind and living with purpose. 1. Challenge your default responses. You've got a choice every single day. Life throws punches at you. Work, relationships, bills, pressure from every direction. Most guys react without thinking. You get pissed off, you procrastinate, you snap back. It's automatic. You fall into the same habits, the same patterns, and then you wonder why things never change. Here's the truth. You're not controlling your life. Your reactions are. It's time to break free. Get up. Take control. No more excuses. Stop reacting. Start responding. This is the core of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught us that the first step toward taking control is to understand the power of our minds. Your mind isn't just there to react, it's there to shape your life. The Stoics didn't let life's chaos dictate their emotions. They didn't let the opinions of others steer their decisions. They were in control of their responses, no matter what life threw at them. Imagine this. You're at work, your boss is piling on more tasks, your coworker makes a snide remark, and everything inside you screams to lash out. That's automatic. That's the easy way. But the Stoic says, hold up, I'm not reacting like this. I'm choosing my response. Let's break it down. You walk into work. The pressure's already on. You can feel it. You can hear it in your head. This day is gonna suck. But instead of letting that thought run wild, you stop. You pause. You take a breath. You remember, what happens next is up to you. You don't have to react like everyone else. You don't have to fall into the trap of letting your emotions control you. You can step back and think. And when you take that pause, you gain power over your emotions. You get to choose how you act. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but it's not that easy. You're right. It's not easy. If it were, everyone would be living a Stoic life. But here's the thing. This isn't about one big change. It's about small, everyday moments. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you're training your mind. Every time you step back and think, you're taking control. Think about this. When was the last time you took control over your response instead of letting the situation control you? Was it last week? Yesterday? If you're honest, maybe it never happened. Maybe you let your anger, frustration, or stress dictate your actions. But here's the thing. Stoicism isn't just a nice idea. It's a way of living. It's about making a choice every day to respond, not react. It's about recognizing that your reactions are a habit, and like any habit, you can change them. You don't have to let the world shape your responses. You don't have to be a victim of your emotions. You have the power to step up, pause, and respond with purpose. Start small. The next time something stresses you out, whether it's traffic, a rude comment, or an unexpected setback, pause. Ask yourself, how do I want to respond? Don't let the chaos of the world decide for you. Choose your response. Reclaim your power. This is where it starts. Not with big grand changes, but with small, consistent actions. This is how you build a Stoic mindset, one response at a time. Every time you choose your reaction, you move closer to mastering your life. Your reactions don't control you anymore. You control them. And that's the first step in changing everything. 2. Redefine success on your terms. Success. It's the word everyone chases, but how many of us truly understand it? Society has sold us a version of success that revolves around money, status, and external validation. It's the flashy car, the big house, the perfect social media profile. But let's be honest, how many of those things fulfill you? How many of them have truly made you feel accomplished, satisfied, or at peace? Stoicism asks a simple but powerful question. What does success mean to you? Not to your boss, not to society, but to you. The Stoics understood that true success isn't about the applause of others. It's not about how much stuff you can accumulate or how many people know your name. It's about living a life based on your values, your principles, and your purpose. If you think that success is about wealth, you've been misled. If you think that success is about public recognition, you're missing the point. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, lived through hardships, wars, and exile, but they never measured their worth based on external circumstances. Instead, they focused on something deeper: internal growth, moral integrity, and a clear, purposeful life. So how does this play out in your everyday life? Let's say you're in your 40s, you've got the job, the car, and you've climbed the corporate ladder. You're ticking all the boxes society tells you to, but when you look in the mirror, what do you see? A man satisfied with his achievements, or someone who's simply gone along for the ride, fulfilling other people's dreams instead of his own? The truth is, we've all been trained to measure success in terms of outward accomplishments. But Stoicism teaches us to redefine that. Success is waking up every day with a sense of purpose. It's doing the right thing even when no one's watching. It's living in line with your core values, not bending to the expectations of others. And guess what? This kind of success doesn't come from external validation. It's built from the inside out. Let's make it real. Think about the last time you achieved something. Maybe you got a promotion, closed a big deal, or bought a new car. But after that moment passed, what did you feel? Was it lasting satisfaction or just a quick rush that faded away? That's the difference between external success and internal fulfillment. External success is fleeting. Internal success is the foundation for a life well lived. The Stoics didn't wait for external circumstances to define them. They defined themselves. So, take a step back today. Ask yourself, what is success to me? Not what society tells you, not what your friends or colleagues expect. What would a truly successful life look like for you? And how can you start living it right now, regardless of your current situation? You can change the script. Instead of aiming for what society thinks is successful, aim for what aligns with your values. Build your success on your terms, on growth, integrity, and purpose. Don't wait for the world to tell you what success is. Define it for yourself, and then pursue it relentlessly. This is the path of the Stoic, one of self-mastery, clarity, and internal peace. Now start small. Think about one area where you're chasing success based on external expectations. Is it your career, your social life, or your finances? Whatever it is, shift your focus today. Ask yourself, does this align with my true values? Start redefining success in a way that puts your values at the center, not the world's approval. And let that be the success you build from now on. By shifting your focus from the external to the internal, you're not just changing your life, you're reclaiming it. So stop measuring your life against someone else's yardstick. Redefine success on your terms and live it every day. 3. Create a mental fortress. How often do you let external chaos dictate your state of mind? Work pressure, family drama, the constant noise from social media, all of it piles on. The world is filled with distractions that want to control you. But here's the question: who's really in charge of your mind? The Stoics understood that the only way to thrive in a world full of unpredictability and noise was to build a mental fortress. They didn't wait for external conditions to change. They didn't depend on others to fix their lives. Instead, they focused on one thing: mastering themselves. This idea of a mental fortress isn't some abstract concept. It's real, practical, and vital if you want to stay grounded in the face of life's storms. It's about creating an internal space where external chaos can't touch you, where you remain calm under pressure, clear-headed in times of stress, and unshaken when things go wrong. You don't need to look far to see this in action. Think about a time when you were under immense pressure at work. or when life threw unexpected challenges your way. Most people react immediately: anger, frustration, panic. But Stoics don't. They pause, they reflect, they take control of their reactions. The difference between a man who is overwhelmed and one who remains composed is this mental fortress. It's not built in one moment, but in the daily decisions you make. It's forged when you stop reacting impulsively and start responding with clarity and purpose. Imagine walking into your office tomorrow. Your boss drops a massive task on your lap, your coworker makes an offhand comment, and your phone's blowing up with notifications. You've been here before, right? Now, instead of letting your emotions take control, take a deep breath. Slow down. Take a moment to evaluate the situation before you act. That pause is the foundation of your mental fortress. This doesn't mean you shut out the world or ignore problems. No, it means you control how you respond to them. You don't let stress or frustration decide your next move. You control your mind, not the other way around. How do you start building this fortress? It starts with awareness. Every day, take a few moments to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Are they helping you build mental strength, or are they feeding into your weaknesses? Are you reacting to life's pressures, or are you controlling how you respond? Each time you pause before reacting, you're reinforcing your mental fortress. Don't fool yourself. This takes time and consistency. It's not an overnight transformation, but over time, these small pauses add up, and you'll notice something powerful. You're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You're the one in control. You've built a fortress so strong that nothing can shake you. The storms of life become nothing more than challenges you can face head-on, knowing you're prepared. The Stoics knew this truth. They lived through wars, exile, and personal loss, yet they maintained their calm, their purpose, and their mental clarity. They didn't wait for life to give them peace. They built it themselves, one thought, one response at a time. So let me ask you again, who's in control of your mind? The world or you? The answer is in your hands. Start building your mental fortress today. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Make that decision. Reclaim control. 4. Embrace the power of discomfort. How many times have you avoided something because it felt uncomfortable? How often do you take the easy road because it's less painful? The truth is, we've all done it. We've all chosen comfort over challenge, avoiding discomfort at all costs. But here's the harsh reality. That's where growth stops. And if you're not growing, you're dying. The Stoics knew this, and they lived by it. They didn't shy away from discomfort. They didn't hide from challenges. Instead, they embraced them, knowing that every moment of discomfort was a chance to become stronger. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you face discomfort head-on. Think about it. Every time you've pushed through something hard, whether it's an intense workout, a difficult conversation, or a challenging project, what happens afterward? You feel stronger, more confident, more capable. The discomfort fades, and what's left is a more resilient, stronger version of yourself. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think comfort equals happiness. They think the goal is to avoid the tough stuff and find easy, pleasurable moments. The Stoics flipped that thinking on its head. They knew that true happiness and fulfillment come not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing it. Let's break it down with a simple example. You've been sitting on the couch for hours, your body aching from being still. You know you should get up and work out. You know it will feel better. But the comfort of staying put keeps you locked in. You convince yourself, I'll do it later. But later never comes. That's because you've chosen comfort over action. You've chosen to stay in the easy, familiar place, even though you know it's not what's best for you. Now, let's flip that. Imagine instead, you force yourself up. The first few steps are uncomfortable. Your body resists. But as you push through, it gets easier. The discomfort transforms into strength. Your mind clears, you feel accomplished. And in that moment, you've done more than just work out your body. You've built mental toughness. This is what the Stoics taught. Embrace discomfort, not as a form of punishment, but as a tool to strengthen yourself. When you face discomfort, you're training your mind and body to endure more, to stay strong, to keep going, even when things get tough. Now, think about the areas in your life where you've been avoiding discomfort. Maybe it's in your career, avoiding that tough conversation with your boss. Or maybe it's in your personal life, avoiding a difficult decision that you know you need to make. Every time you avoid discomfort, you're choosing to stay weak. Every time you face it, you're choosing to grow. The Stoic mindset isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about seeing it for what it truly is, a tool for growth. They didn't run from pain or struggle. They welcomed it because they knew that on the other side was strength, resilience, and wisdom. And so can you. The next time you're faced with discomfort, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, remember, this is your chance to grow. Embrace it. Don't shy away. Step into it. Use it to build the mental toughness you need to thrive. The discomfort will pass, but the strength you build from facing it head-on will stay with you. So stop avoiding, start embracing. Take on that uncomfortable challenge. Get stronger, get better, and become the man you're meant to be. 5. Turn obstacles into opportunities. How often do you see obstacles as roadblocks? How many times have you faced a challenge and thought, I can't do this? It's easy to feel defeated, especially when life throws curveballs. But here's the truth. Your obstacles are not your enemies. They are your teachers. The Stoics knew this, and they used every difficulty as an opportunity to grow. They didn't run from adversity. They faced it head-on, knowing it would shape them into better men. When you're stuck on a problem, your first instinct might be to panic, complain, or even give up. That's the easy way out. But what if you took a different approach? What if, instead of seeing a roadblock, you saw a lesson, a challenge that could make you stronger? This is the Stoic mindset. Every obstacle is an opportunity. The Stoics didn't look at life's challenges as defeats. They saw them as invitations to practice virtues like patience, resilience, and wisdom. Think about it. You've been there. You're facing a tough situation at work, your personal life feels like it's falling apart, or your goals seem out of reach. The immediate thought is to retreat, avoid, or complain. But that's not going to get you anywhere. The Stoics would say, stand tall. Take a deep breath. This is your moment to grow. They taught us that obstacles don't limit us. They reveal our limits, and in doing so, show us exactly where we need to improve. Take a simple example. You're in the middle of a workout, and your muscles are burning. You want to quit. But the Stoic mindset tells you that this is your opportunity. Push through it. Build your mental and physical strength. The pain is temporary. The growth you gain from facing it will last much longer. Now, this doesn't mean life is always going to be easy or fair. It's going to be hard sometimes. But if you keep facing those obstacles, if you keep using them to push yourself forward, you'll start to see that life's challenges aren't walls, they're doors. And you hold the key. Think about your biggest obstacle right now. Maybe it's a tough financial situation, a strained relationship, or a career setback. You could spend all your time complaining about it, letting it weigh you down. Or you could ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this obstacle into an opportunity? That shift in mindset alone will change the way you approach challenges forever. The Stoics weren't perfect, but they were relentless in turning obstacles into opportunities. They didn't let circumstances define them. Instead, they defined how they responded. They knew that a setback could be the best thing that ever happened to them if they faced it with the right attitude. So stop letting life's obstacles control you. Don't avoid them. Don't let them make you weak. Use them to grow stronger. Turn them into opportunities. Each time you do, you're one step closer to becoming the man you've always wanted to be. Every challenge is a chance to practice discipline, patience, and wisdom. Every failure is a chance to rise, stronger and more prepared for the next challenge. Embrace it, take control, and turn every obstacle into an opportunity to grow. 6. Detach from the need for approval. How much time do you spend chasing validation from others? How often do you find yourself looking for external approval to feel good about what you do or who you are? We all do it, especially when it feels like the world is watching and judging. But here's the hard truth. Living for others' approval is a trap. The Stoics knew this. They understood that when you live to please others, you give away your power. You lose control. The Stoics believed that true freedom came when you stopped depending on others for validation. They didn't wait for society's approval, and they didn't need the applause of the crowd. Instead, they focused on what was under their control, their actions, their values, their inner peace. If you want to take control of your life, it starts with letting go of the need for others' approval. Stop asking for permission to live your life. Think about it. Every time you seek approval from someone else, whether it's from your boss, your friends, or even your family, you are handing over control. You're saying, I need your stamp of approval before I can feel good about myself. But the Stoic mindset challenges this. The Stoic says, no one gets to define my worth but me. When you stop looking outside for validation, you reclaim your power. You start defining success, happiness, and progress based on your values. Let's be real, you felt it. You've worked hard on a project, but the feedback you get isn't what you expected. The disappointment sinks in. You start questioning your abilities, your choices, even your worth. But why? Because you gave that power away. You let someone else's opinion determine your value. The Stoics understood this well. Approval from others is fleeting. It's based on their perspective, not on who you truly are or what you've accomplished. So, how do you detach from the need for approval? It starts with self-awareness. Start by checking in with yourself. Why do you want others to approve of you? What does that validation give you? More confidence? A sense of belonging? These are things you can give yourself. Build your confidence from within, based on your actions and your values, not based on others' opinions. Look at the most successful men in history. They didn't wait for approval. They weren't concerned with pleasing others. They had a clear sense of who they were and what they stood for. They built their lives on their terms, and the approval of others was just noise in the background. They stayed focused on what they could control, their actions, their choices, their values, and ignored everything else. Here's an example. You're in a meeting. You present your idea. It's not received well. The feedback isn't great. Normally, you'd feel crushed, but instead, you remember this Stoic principle. You step back and ask yourself, did I act with integrity? Did I put in the work? Did I stand by my values? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter what others think. You've already won. You've controlled what you can control, your actions and your integrity. The rest is out of your hands. The next time you feel that pull to seek approval, pause. Ask yourself if it aligns with your values. Ask yourself if it's worth your energy. The Stoics teach us that true peace comes when we stop letting others define our worth. They didn't need anyone's approval to live meaningful, purposeful lives, and neither do you. Stop asking for permission. Live by your standards, and the rest will fall into place. When you do this, you'll find the freedom that comes with owning your life, your choices, and your values. Take control. 7. Train your mind to reflect and adapt. How often do you take a moment to reflect on your thoughts, your actions, or your decisions? How many times have you rushed through a day, reacting to the chaos around you without ever stopping to think about what's truly driving your actions? It's easy to get caught up in the noise and forget that the one thing we can control is how we think. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that true power lies in the ability to control your mind and adapt your thinking. The Stoics weren't afraid of challenging their own beliefs. They didn't simply accept the thoughts or assumptions that came to them. Instead, they made it a practice to regularly reflect on their thoughts, actions, and decisions, asking themselves whether they were aligned with their values. And that's where real power lies. When you reflect, you gain clarity. You identify where your actions are out of alignment with your values. And once you see that, you can change course. The problem with most people is that they don't reflect. They go through their day on autopilot, allowing their emotions and external circumstances to dictate their behavior. But the Stoic man doesn't let life happen to him. He takes charge. He checks in with himself every day. He asks, why am I feeling this way? Is this reaction in line with the man I want to be? Without reflection, growth is impossible. You simply react. You don't grow. Take a simple example. You're in a stressful meeting at work. The pressure is on. Your boss makes a critical comment. The room goes silent. Your first instinct is to defend yourself, to push back, to prove you're right. But instead, you pause. You take a breath. You reflect. What is your goal here? To be right, or to maintain your composure and stay aligned with your values of wisdom and calm? That brief pause, that reflection, can change everything. You realize that reacting impulsively won't serve you. You stay calm, focused, and respond thoughtfully. This is the essence of the Stoic practice, being proactive with your thoughts. Instead of letting life dictate your responses, you control them by reflecting and adapting. This isn't about being passive or emotionless. It's about knowing that your mind is your most powerful tool and using it wisely. Every day is an opportunity to reflect, to ask the tough questions, to become more self-aware and sharpen your mind. How do you train your mind? Start simple. Before bed, take 5 minutes to reflect on your day. What went well? What didn't? What could you have done differently? This small, simple habit will start to build your mental clarity. Over time, you'll see that your ability to reflect will improve. You'll start making better decisions, responding more thoughtfully, and living more intentionally. Reflecting on your actions and thoughts is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware and adapting. It's about making conscious choices, not letting life dictate your responses. The Stoics knew that reflection leads to wisdom. They didn't let life's distractions pull them off course. They adapted, adjusted, and made decisions that were aligned with their true values. You can do the same. So stop running on autopilot. Start taking control. Reflect, adapt, and become the man you are meant to be. 8. Live by principles, not by the noise. How many times have you been caught up in the noise around you? The constant buzz of social media, the endless cycle of trends, the pressure to conform to what everyone else is doing. It's easy to get lost in the noise. But here's the hard truth. Living by the world's standards will never bring you peace. The Stoics knew this, and they chose a different path. One where principles, not distractions, were their guide. What does it mean to live by principles? It means making decisions based on what is right, not what is popular. It means choosing courage over comfort, wisdom over ignorance, and integrity over convenience. In today's world, it's easy to get swept up in the latest trends, to follow what everyone else is doing, or to let the noise of society drown out your inner voice. But the Stoics rejected this. They didn't live based on what was trending or what others expected of them. They lived based on what they believed was right. Think about your own life. How often do you make decisions based on what others think? Maybe it's buying the latest gadget because everyone else has it, or staying in a job you hate because you're afraid of what people will think if you leave. We've all been there. But that's the noise. That's the external pressure telling you who to be and how to live. The Stoics would tell you to tune that out, to focus on what matters. Take a moment and ask yourself, what do I stand for? What principles guide my decisions? When you live by your principles, you stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. You stop trying to please others. You start making choices that align with your values, your purpose, and your vision for your life. You stop being a follower and start being a leader in your own life. Here's an example. Let's say you're at a crossroads in your career. You've been offered a promotion, but it requires compromising your values. Maybe you'll have to step over others, lie, or go against your integrity to get ahead. The world might tell you, this is your chance, take it. But the Stoic man doesn't follow the noise. He asks himself, does this align with my principles? And if it doesn't, he walks away, even if it's the harder choice. Living by principles isn't easy. It requires discipline. It requires you to stand firm when the world pushes you to compromise. But that's where the strength lies. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from living by your values, not in chasing after every fleeting desire or external approval. They didn't bend to the noise of society. They created their path, and that path was defined by their principles. Every day, you have a choice: to live by the noise or to live by your principles. It's that simple. You can either chase the next trend, seek approval from others, and let the noise of life dictate your actions, or you can live by your values, make decisions that align with your purpose, and control your destiny. So the next time you face a decision, ask yourself, am I living by my principles, or am I just following the noise? If you want to take control of your life, If you want to live with purpose and integrity, it's time to start living by your principles. Stop letting the world define you. Start defining yourself. Live by your values, and watch how your life begins to change. The journey to taking control of your life isn't easy. It demands more than just knowledge. It requires action. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that the power to shape our lives lies within us, not in external circumstances. We are in control of how we think, how we act, and how we respond to what life throws at us. Throughout this video, we've explored how to break free from automatic reactions, redefine success, build an unshakable mental fortress, embrace discomfort, turn obstacles into opportunities, detach from the need for approval, and live by principles instead of the noise. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're tools, practices you can start using today to take back control and lead a life of purpose, resilience, and integrity. But knowing these principles is just the beginning. To truly make them part of your life, you need to put them into practice every day. Start small. Reflect on your responses. Act with intention. Challenge your assumptions. The more you practice these Stoic habits, the more they will shape your life. Don't wait for the world to change. Change how you engage with the world. You can control your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset. Don't let distractions or external validation dictate who you become. Live by your values, focus on what you can control, and you'll build the strength to face any challenge that comes your way. As you move forward, think about how you can start practicing these Stoic principles in your daily life. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How are you going to take control of your life today? Let's hold ourselves accountable, grow together, and push ourselves toward the life we truly want.